Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us tonight. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and share to our groups here on Facebook. If I can find us. Okay, let's see. All right, so we are live. Okay, there we are. We are going to share. All right, there's the VIP. And there's our team. Okay, we are officially out there and we are live. So please go ahead if you're coming in to say hello. Please just put something in the chat so we know you're here. That's the only way I see that you're here with me, other than a little number up in the corner, and the little number doesn't tell me much. So go ahead and say hello. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our housekeeping before we jump right into all of our fun stamping. So again, first things up, Paper Pumpkin. This month's kit just arrived yesterday. I got my kit. So that's exciting. We are now in the September subscription period. So fall is barreling down on us very quickly, and that kit will be a fall themed kit. It's going to be called Fall for Twal, Toile, Twal. And the subscription for that is open until September 10th. For that, you're going to make 9 cards, each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. The design cards are going to have metallic, foil, and rich autumnal imagery. Try to say that 3 times fast. Hey, Barb, so glad you could make it. You're going to get pre-cut paper pieces and printed sentiment labels. And your coordinating colors will be Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling. Wow, my tongue is twisted tonight. Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, and Timid Tiger. And your ink spot will be Cajun Craze. This kit will coordinate with the Autumn Twal Sweet Collection, which is going to be in the September drop. I believe it is in the mini catalog. Some of you I see are getting your catalogs in the mail now, so you should be seeing those. Many of you already have it. If you haven't received it yet, it will be coming in the next few days, is my anticipation, because you usually get them pretty close together throughout the states. I know Betty got hers over in California, so here in New York, probably over the next couple of days, you'll start seeing them. All right, and they will coordinate with the dies here. These are the coordinating dies for the entire quarter. They're called Circle of Seasons, and they are an add-on while supplies last. And the last I looked, they were still there. To get Paper Pumpkin, you can either use this QR code here on this flyer, or you can just go to the bit.ly link here, Paper Pumpkin with Katrina, and you can subscribe to whatever works for you. Barb, there really isn't. Paper Pumpkin is designed to be pretty much a surprise. The flyers that they put out are pretty much your only sneak peek that you're going to get. And it's very, very limited. They don't want you to really see exactly what it is. They want it to be a surprise. Now, the kits collection, that's a different story. That's where you know exactly what you're getting. But because this is a monthly subscription, they did want to keep that more on the surprise side of things. So it's like any subscription. If you're doing a subscription, they don't really usually tell you exactly what's in each month's kits. And it's kind of you take the good with the bad kind of a thing. You're going to get kits you're going to love. You're going to get kits you're maybe not going to love so much. If the theme completely, like if you're not one that likes Halloween at all and they're telling you it's going to be a Halloween theme, then you can pause your kit for that month. But the anticipation is that you're just going to keep getting your subscription. All righty. Online exclusives. We did drop several online exclusives back in July. There are more coming next month. And I gotta tell you, they outdid themselves again for the ones coming up. I just put my pre-order in today. I was a little behind on doing mine because many other competing priorities. I finally got to sit down and actually make out my order. So anyway, more holiday stuff coming, and but awesome between the mini catalog and the online exclusives that are coming in September. It's gonna be fantastic. Hey sis, glad you could make it. So that's the online exclusives. For online exclusives, if you want to just take a sneak peek, here is the QR code that'll take you directly to what's available as an online exclusive that you will not find in any catalog at any given time. You can just scan this QR code with your phone, and that'll take you directly there. Or you can use the bit.ly link. The bit.ly is the online exclusives with Katrina's Creative Heart. And that again will take you directly to my online exclusives if you would like to just take a look at them. Right now, Stampin' Up! Also has a deal on all 2025, 2027 in color products. That's ink pads, ink refills, the ribbons, designer series paper, embellishments, anything that is attached with the in colors is currently marked down 15% off. And that is through the rest of this month. So if you are looking for in colors, the Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush, Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, or Cloud Cover, they're on sale. So just wanted to point that out real quick. And now we can get started. So I am using today a fantastic suite of product. It is the Peaceful Garden suite of product. And with the suite, we have 12 by 12 designer series paper. There's also the glimmer paper, Peace on Earth stamp set, love, peace, love, and joy, sending, wishing you all the best in your new adventure with this deepest sympathy, heartfelt prayers, big hugs for a good friend, peace on earth. And we have the doves, we have the little stars, we have these little ribbon slides that you can add to these two labels. We have this little sprig here and then a little mini sprig. We'll be using both of those tonight. There's also a 3D embossing folder. This is the Peaceful Greenery embossing folder. You can do it upwards or you can do it sideways. You get these really adorable embellishments. Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, Cloud Cover, and then up in here there's plain white ones as well. And there is a bolt of ribbon, but I can't find what I did with the ribbon. So we didn't use the ribbon today. But designer series paper is gorgeous. And I had a lot of fun playing with this set. And we have some really cute cards. So we have here, this is our With Deepest Sympathy. Very simple card with some die cut pieces and some ink blending. We use some of those embellishments and then some linen thread. And we have some designer series paper. Next, we have the Heartfelt Prayers. We use some of that glimmer paper off to the side here. And then my favorite, this is the Peace on Earth with our little dove. We got that little sprig and our little linen thread bow. And of course, we use the embossing folder for a little pop there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our first card. And for that one, we have a thick, basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5. We've started at 4 1/4, and we're going to go ahead and fold on that score line, making sure everything's all lined up. We're going to furnish that out like so. Okay. Next up, I have cut 3 pieces of the Designer Series paper, and they are all cut 3.5 inches long by 3/4 inch wide. So we have our light, our medium, and our dark. Okay. So you can use any Designer Series paper for this style card. You just want a light, a medium, and a dark with whatever you're using. And the first thing we're going to do is our light. We're going to tear a little bit off from the left edge. The medium, we're going to tear a little off the right edge. And the dark, we're going back to the left edge. All right. Next, dimensionals. I kind of want to, before I put these down, because these are going down on dimensionals, I want to get kind of an idea where I'm putting these. Right, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to use a couple dimensionals. That's our first one. Hi, Sherry. Hey, Kay. So glad to see you. Okay. So there's our medium shade. And there. Crooked. There we go. Whoop. And then we're going to put some dimensionals on this piece. This is our dark shade. And that one will go right there. All right. Next, I want my stamp that says, "With deepest sympathy." And we're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight ink pad. We're going to go ahead and ink that up nice. I just stuck my fingers right in the ink, so I guess I can prove what I was doing today. All right. Now, right between these little strips, I'm going to go ahead. Make sure. With deepest sympathy. All right, I'm going to close that up. I have 3 scraps of basic white. Oh my goodness. And these are for die cutting our little sprigs. So for this one here, I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue. And I have a blending brush. And we're just going to lightly blend some color onto this basic white. There we go. And it's just a little bit of color, nothing too intense. All right, next, find our dies. We're going to use this here sprig. And we need to cut it out 3 times. So we're going to cut, our first one is going to be this one that we just shaded. We're going to bring our baby boss, weights, run those through. Pokey tool here just to get that up. I'm going to set that aside. And now we'll cut out the remaining 2 sprigs. Ink all over myself. Oop. Flying dies. Luckily, that was easily retrieved. I found a die the other day. It looks like a bow to something. Found it under my desk. Have no idea what it goes to. And of course, it's one that doesn't have the numbers on it, so I can't look it up. Because most of our dies do have a number on it. Like this one does not. But a lot of them do, and you can look up the number and it'll tell you what set it goes to. But the ones that don't, can't do that with. And that happens to be one that doesn't. So it's a mystery stamp. It's just a really thin ribbon bow. Cannot figure out which one it went to. I vaguely remember it, but I don't remember. It was like a while ago that I lost it. Okay. So here are our 3 sprigs. Just going to use a little bit of liquid glue. So not using much, just a little. Little bits. We're going to hold them down for just a second. There we go. All right, same thing for the white. I'm just going to do a little dab. Put that down for a minute. Sherry, the thing of it is, I don't know which book to even start looking in. Would it be, I don't know if it's holiday or everyday or spring? I don't know. Eventually I'll figure it out. I think that should do it. Oop, maybe a little bit right there. And that one, we'll just put like so. Hold it down for just a second. Then we're going to bring in our linen thread. And oh, it's good. Get your snips. Glue dot. Boop. Oh, jeepers. We got glue dots stringing out all over the place here. There we go. That's going to go right about there. Looks good. Goodness. All right. Then we need our little embellishments. There they are. Let's see if we can't get this up. There it goes. All right. So now I'm going to use the larger and the smaller of the Misty Moonlight. And then we're going to bring in one of the white. And that one we're going to put right about there. And that completes our first card. Super simple, but very, very pretty. All right. Now we're going to do our Heartfelt Prayers. So for this one, I have a cloud cover card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Thanks, sis. So glad you like it. And we're going to fold on that score line, which is 4 1/4. Bring in our bone folder. Furnish that out. Next, I have a piece of that glimmer paper. I have the Secret Sea shade. This measures 4 1/4 by 3/4 wide. And that is just going to go here on the edge. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. So, yeah. And let's see. Want to get it centered between the top and bottom. And that looks pretty good right there. But straight would be good. Nope, not too bad. I think we got it straight. There we go. Okay, so that just adds a little pop right there. Next, I have a piece of that designer series paper. This is cut 3 inches by 3 inches square. And that's going to line up just about like so. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And again, I'm going to make sure everything's straight. Like there. Then I have a piece of basic white. It's 3 inches by 1 1/4. And this is where we're going to stamp our sentiment. And that is Heartfelt Prayers. So we're going to, again, use Misty Moonlight. So we're going to get that inked up nicely. I like to get my stuff nicely lined up on the grid so everything is nice and straight. And then we're going to stamp in the center here, Heartfelt Prayers. Just like that. Next, we're going to do our adhesive. You could actually pop this up on with dimensionals, but I decided to keep it nice and flat. And for this, I like to just butt it up against because they're the same 3 inches wide, but it's 1 1/4 inches. So it makes a nice, perfect puzzle right in there. Easy peasy. Then all you gotta do is bring in more of those little embellishments. And these are called hues of blue flowers. So we're gonna go again. This time we're using the cloud cover shade. I'm gonna get the bigger ones. Small one. And another small one. And that's really it. Bauble bloom dies. Okay, Kay, thank you. I will definitely do that. That very well could be. Whoop. The Heartfelt Prayers goes to this new set. Okay, it is called Peace on Earth. So it's this one right here. So this one, it's really nice because it has the with deepest sympathy. It has heartfelt prayers, big hugs for a good friend, and then of course, peace on earth. So you can do your Christmas cards with this, your sympathy cards. I love it too. You can do peace, love, and joy, or just do peace, love, and joy. Sending love, wishing you peace, love, and joy. So definitely, I would definitely recommend this here stamp. I haven't done it yet, but I would cut these apart, the peace, love, and joy, so that you could do peace, love, and then joy underneath, like stack them with that fancy love. Just me. It is a beautiful suite. Yes, it is, Miss K. Absolutely. One of my favorites, honestly. Because, again, pull it out for Christmas, pull it out for sympathy, thinking of someone who just needs a little to know that they're in your thoughts. So, and again, something as quick and easy as that. All right, last card is our Peace on Earth. So for this one, I started with a thick basic white card base. This is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and fold on that score line, make sure everything lines up nicely where it's supposed to. Sometimes they do shift. We don't want that. All right, so use that bone folder to go ahead and burnish that down. Next, I have a piece of that designer series paper, and that measures 5 1/4 by 4. So that'll go right there on the center of our piece, the card base. Oop. There we go. And that's going to go right on the center of our card base. Like so. Okay. Next, I have a piece of Misty Moonlight, and it measures 3 inches by 4 inches. And I went ahead and I've already embossed it with the Peaceful Greenery 3D embossing folder. So I did go ahead and do that already. So we're good to go. And that's for the center of our card. And I'm going to use dimensionals to pop that up. So we're just going to use dimensionals in the 4 corners. Okay, this is going to go right in the center of our card. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Let's try to get a little straighter. Yep, there we go. All right. Next, I have some scrap basic white pieces. One is for our label, one is for our dove, and then I have a piece, it's just a little scrap piece of Secret Sea that we're going to die cut our little sprig from. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to start with our label. So we're going to bring in our dies here. We're going to use the largest label die. That's going to cut from there like so. So we're going to bring back the baby boss. Much cooler tonight. Hopefully that means better sleeping, because as exhausted as I was last night, I was up walking the floors until 5 o'clock this morning. All right, so there's our label. And we're going to put that back. We're going to grab our dove. So we might as well get all of our die cutting done while we're here. Let's put this back. We need this. We've got our little dove. I'm going to set him on there. Run that through. I love this dove. Okay. He doesn't want to come off the plate, so there we go. And we need our little sprig. So put that back. Secret Sea piece, and there it is. Oh, come on. Oop. There we go. Sprig obtained, and we're still live. Okay. I know I hit something there, and I heard the computer kind of boing, and was afraid I disconnected us. But it looks like we're still live. All right. Die cutting our little sprig. Baby bus is done. Grab that sprig. That goes there. The die back here. And plates out of the way. Okay. Next, I'm going to take our little label, and we're going to bring back the balmy blue. And this is going to help our dove stand out a little bit. So we're just inking up our blending brush with our balmy blue. And again, just lightly, barely touching, adding some color to our label. And again, just barely touching it, just swirling the color on here. And it's mainly to make sure that our dove shows up nicely. Okay, so there's that. We're going to close this up. We're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight ink pad now, because for this, we're going to stamp our Peace on Earth. We're going to ink up Peace on Earth. And let's make sure you can see what we're doing here. stamp Peace on Earth. All right, next, set these aside for just a minute. We want our adhesive. And you can see exactly where this is going to go. This sits right inside the ridge. So it's perfectly framed. Then our little dove gets a dimensional. He sets up just like so. Then our sprig gets a glue dot. Ooh, and that is going to go right there. And that exposed glue dot is going to help hold our ribbon, our bow. So we're going to use our twine. Fingers will cooperate. Okay. Our snips. And then that is going to lay right into that exposed piece of the glue dot. And we're just going to trim that just a smidge. And that, my friends, finishes our final card. I love these doves myself. I totally agree, Kay. I think they are absolutely precious. And I love them. So, quick recap. We have our Peace on Earth. We have Heartfelt Prayers. And then, of course, we have With Deepest Sympathy. And that is all I have for you tonight, friends. I hope you enjoyed these, and I hope they inspired you to pull this set out if you already have it. If you don't already have it, maybe you'll think about adding it onto your next order when it goes live. Because I know demonstrators have it or have access to it. If you don't have it, you do have access to it. Otherwise, it will be available in September. And there's the other dove that's in full flight. So, and these are the ribbon slides. You could actually cut top and bottom to make a ribbon slide for these labels. So anyway, super fun. Of course, Kay, it's my pleasure to share with you. All right, that's all I have for you guys. And again, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me on this fine Sunday evening. And I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. God willing, I will see you next week with something more fun. Have a good night, guys. Bye for now.